So anyway, if you're watching this, I'm not really playing the game. I'm just screwing with the loser purpose people because they start queuing up whenever I go searching for games. I gotta be online too. So anyway, what are we gonna do? I want to download some songs. So what was this one? Of course, you might think that was the first mistake. All right, so we got you might think lunatic. You're looking for a sedated, maybe sedated song. It's by the Ramones. That's the Ramones stuff. I already have that song.
Nothing to read.
Hold on. I'll be sedated. Okay. Fucking heads. Do a. I'll let take some time to do a.
It's amazing what you can do with nothing.
Whip It. Whip It's a good song, right? Should I do? There's a
Liberty
mix.
Mutual customizes your car insurance.
So save this into mixtape.
How I customized.
Okay. And then we'll look at for Talking Heads.
Check out this backpack I made for Marco.
And then we'll save
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
YouTube mix. We'll do mix. Save it as mixtape 1. There you go. Remote. Oh, we're doing the remotes though. Remotes.
Hey, oh. Hey, oh. Let's go. Hey, oh. Let's go. Falling in the back seat. The generous lead. Things in the back seat. Let's speak up. Hey, oh. Let's go. Shooting in the back now. What they want, I don't.
This could box good, yeah. Yeah, cars and runs. Fucking heads, e-cars. Space Hog, oh yeah. Meantime. There's save and mixtape 1. More space, get more space. I'll do. Okay, that's the song. Also, we got after space song. What else we got? Trying to think myself. Cracker Love, yeah. Good stuff, man. Save mixtape 1. I'm just gonna get a bunch of stuff to play for mixtape and compile later. Cracker. No. Okay, so we got Cracker Love. That's about good enough. So save it on mixtape. Oh, give me my review. That's what we search for games, right?
Sometimes I wanna take you down. Sometimes I wanna get you low. Brush your hair back from your eyes. Take you down, let the river flow. Sometimes I'm gonna walk the street.
Silver Share? Silver Share. I heard this before. Silver Share, whatever. Trying to think about how my thinking is not working right now. Well, but dude, all right. Oh, I think it's not working. Let's just close out every of these. Close all that. Close all that. Oh, I need food in it. Ooh, ice cream. I'm getting through life pretty good, Father. Thank you. see the spoon right now. Dude, I straight just gonna take pallet forks down with me. Where just want a pallet fork? I do. I want a pallet forks down with me. A paper towel roll. Boom. Trying to catch up in life, man. Whoa, praise Jesus. Pallet forks. Boom. Use the fork, Luke. That's my band. Game on.
Gentlemen, welcome to the project. The project is a 75-hour experience.
Question around the concept of exceptions. I think we've all said at some stage the famous quote that exceptions are by definition exceptional and should only be used in an exceptional case. But here's where I think people misunderstand that sentiment, which is exceptional doesn't mean, oh my god, that's so rare, I never imagined that could happen. Exceptional means it is outside of what is expected for this event to occur. And an array that's meant to have values being null is exceptional. It is this shouldn't happen. It might being empty isn't exceptional. It might not have values in it, but it being null in a serialized script where it should have values is an exceptional case. Similarly, with people trying to get a value at index -1 in an array, that's maybe something you can hack your way around by clamping it to the range or rounding it or doing something, but you're not solving the problem, you're hiding it, which makes it harder to debug later. So if some scenario happened which led to somebody selecting the value -1 in an attempt to find the index of that value, that is, by definition, exceptional. It is a non-standard case that has occurred, and you should respond accordingly. So I will actively throw exceptions in my code, and people are like, oh, but that's going to slow it down and be bad. It's like, well, good, because if you're at a point where your code in a built version is like trying to get an index of -1, you don't want that to be carried on in your code base, because it's your code base is kind of this thing that over time, think of it like a level of stability. And every time you like let one of these things through, it just like slowly wobbles the stability of your application until stuff goes wrong. So if something's going to go crazily wrong, like -1 values, I want it to break very early so I can capture it and resolve it at a higher level point. So yeah, I'll throw exceptions quite a lot until the application doesn't throw exceptions anymore. That's when I'm happy.
So there was a follow-up question on your editor script. Do you show all of your scripts in there, or is it just like specific things that break? So do you kind of like wait until you need to see something like, oh, let's go add that into my editor script so I can do it? Or do you just like default drop everything in, or you just have like an attribute that you just pop on the top of the script and suddenly it magically appears?
I try not to write things I won't need, and so I used to do that. I actually tried to be smart once and write this really clever base class, which I extend from, and had all these magical reflective tools which showed all these like cool stats and things and gave me values, and it just ends up making everything messy and complicated. There's no need to do that. So now I just make a thing, like if I have If I have stats in my game, I make a class called stat, then I make a class called stats, and then stats is a collection of stats. And if at some point I look at it and go, hold on, one of these stats is value -10, it's meant to be 50. So, okay, well now I need to know what stats are doing. So I go to my stats editor, and I make a tab called debug, and in debug I list any stats, and maybe I like turn red any ones where the values are in negative, and now I can go, oh, there we go, I can now see all of the stats which are negative, and I have a very clean and declarative way to solve what I need to. And then if I'm later on working on I don't know, an inventory, and I'm doing an inventory, and then suddenly it's like, oh, so there's things here where the price is -50. It's like, oh, I would love to do a debug and do this stuff. Like, hang on a second, if I'm just going to paint red all of the things which are -50, maybe I now have a case
You just dolly to
you know, debug tab for collections. So then I'd make that, and then I would put that in my editor, and now I can have any way of debugging that. But you know, I let the problem occur, I let it occur again, and then I encapsulate the thing which now has more use cases. So I don't try to preempt solutions. I will write the code as I need it, and the tools will, you'll eventually build a library of tools that are directly relative to what you're doing, because that just happens over time.
So there are a couple of people talking about Odin in here too, as an option for that, and that's
yeah. I don't use it either. We've talked about that before. It's like I think it's really well written. I think the guys are very smart, but it's just too much for what I'm doing most of the time. Although the Odin validator is really good. It's still something that I'm really trying to find more use cases to use it, because it's really well written.
Yeah, I like their tools a lot. I tend to just pull it in by default if I'm not doing something that I have to share. So I know, like, you do a ton of client projects and make it a nightmare for you to deal with it in licensing, and probably overkill for most things. Yeah, but I mean, I use it for even 1 or 2 features out in every project is enough for me to pull it in. There was something else. Oh, there was something that popped up that I wanted to show on screen real quick. So good news, Jim said the Starfighter General MMO dev, and they were helpful before, so I had to check it out and see it. It's up here on Steam. Looks kind of cool. I have to share the link too. Get some reviews. This could be like one of the game. We were talking earlier about reviewing games and talking about the gameplay and giving some feedback on stream. So if you're interested, maybe we could do this one. Send me an email. We'll check it out.
Yeah.
I love space games. I actually let me see. Do I have? Let's see if I can find the one. I was showing you earlier.
You were literally working on one earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like when I get bored in bed and I can't sleep, I start to write code and make games. I started making a little space simulation game where ships come in and buy and sell things. You can upgrade your space station, do some stuff on it. It started off as little cubes and capsules. It's like my normal default of capsule and cube world everywhere, with the ships are like different color capsules and the stations were different color cubes. And then I spent an hour grabbing assets and pulling them in and redoing the UI and putting in some little character portraits and stuff, and had a lot of fun with it. But I'm a big fan of space games and sci-fi stuff, so I'd be happy to check it out too. I guess that was my point. And also, I guess, like, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
I was just say with that space game, it's very similar to some of the stuff you were saying earlier with like the way that I make everything in there, and not a whole lot of preparing and planning. Just like, I need ships, so add a ship script. Yeah. I need a ship to move. I drop that into the ship script. Then I need a station. Add a little station, and then I need docking for the ships and make a little dock script that they fly to, and need them to buy and sell things. Make a buy and sell script that does that. Like, it relatively simple. And then eventually, once you do the first one, so I did the first one with fuel, made all the code. It was hard coded, just bought and sold fuel. I was like, all right, I want to add a second one. Added, I think, food, and I was like, okay, well, it's time to add a third one. No more just copy pasting. It's time to do like a scriptable object type thing and put in some actual data there, and have it be, a thing where I know I want to have a bunch of different resource types. Eventually they change, but I didn't start coding it that way from the beginning because I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to lay it out and what was going to make the most sense. So I like to just kind of go step by step.
I think what might be a bit shocking for people is when I start a brand new project, I don't even import my own library of tools. I don't, like, that's such a, it may seem obvious, and there's like a 90% chance I will use it, but I'm not going to make an assumption that I'm going to need my own tools in a new project. I will start with absolutely nothing. And even if like I literally have scripts in my helper libraries that automatically do raycasting and checking surface stuff, and like I had a project recently where I had a camera
Dude, I got shouted out on this
projected
Wazba stream.
onto a render texture. The render texture was then on a UI in a like scaled differently, and then you could move your mouse within the bounds of the render textured image, and I wanted to raycast through that render texture and get the position in the world space relative to where that is, which you can imagine has some weird positional stuff because you're not using the bounds of the screen, you're using the bounds of an image, which is a different render texture scale of whatever. And so I had a bunch of helper code which does the whole like, there's a like get position in rect, convert that to viewport, convert viewport to ray, raycast from the thing, it's a whole pile of stuff just to get an accurate position within the range of the thing. And whenever I want to do something with that, you'd assume I'd bring it in, it'd solve the problem. It's like, no, I'm still going to start from scratch and go, if raycast, do thing, whatever, because that's such a presumption. I'm going to need the complexity of that one problem that solved that one thing that one time. And so sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. And so even my own obvious common scripts, I don't start with that assumption. Although I usually do end up breaking and adding it eventually. But I try to give myself the challenge of starting off with none of that to begin with.
Yeah.
I thought because it came up a few times, people are curious about the editor tooling. I thought I'd show something. I have one here.
Okay. Yeah, you want to pop it up?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to answer Moga's question on the scale of the assets real quick while you do that. They are real world scale, so it's actually like a full-on space station you can walk around in with characters at normal scale. And my thought is eventually we would probably do that, allow it, pop the doors open and all that, like do space station building and other stuff, make it kind of crazy. I don't know, but yeah, that's the scale it's at. All right, let's pop up your screen here. There we go.
Yeah. So this is a example of a custom editor tool I've made. It's the one we literally talked about as well, funnily enough, before the show started, where it's about quotes. And I'm actually making this for my Discord because a common question comes up about... It's like the classic question of, should I save to JSON? Should I save to XML? Should I save to binary? And I keep answering with the same answer of, it doesn't matter. And people are like, well, it does matter, because I need to know whether it's database, I need to know whether it's... And I'm like, no, you don't understand me. It doesn't matter. Like, it truly doesn't matter. And so to prove my point, I was like, I want a thing that displays quotes. And I want to be able to display quotes regardless of the source of them. And so I went and found an online API that had sources for quotes. And so this was a Breaking Bad quote source thing. Whenever I press generate, it would find a new quote and get it from somewhere. But then I thought, to prove my point, I wanted to have different quote sources. And the idea is these APIs online, I didn't write them. They're in different shapes. And so you'd assume it's a complicated problem to write lots of code to solve lots of scenarios to convert between different cases. That's the equivalent of different file formats or different save formats or whatever. And so I did one, then another, and then another, and then 33. To prove the point that it doesn't matter what the source comes from, because at the end of the day, this script doesn't care, provided you write the code in a way that doesn't require that. So I can generate anime quotes, I can generate apparently advice quotes. I can generate Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Oh, there's Britney Spears quotes apparently. I just whatever free quote API I found online, I just used, and then I then decided to add support for Replica Studios. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but
I'm not hearing anything.
Okay. Can you hear that? Okay, I guess not. Either way, when I press play, it goes to Replica Studios, it takes that quote, sends it to their API, comes back with the sound effect, and then plays the sound effect for me. So you can see there's an empty file here, that's because it generated data of the wave file. Anyway, all of that's irrelevant. The only reason I even show this is to say, I've got this concept of lots of quote providers. From Chuck Norris quotes, motivational quotes, Zen quotes, but surely this script is huge and it's going to have a lot of if statements or checks or whatever else, right? And there's events over here, like you can listen to when a quote's been loaded in, you can capture the array and display it somewhere. And then there's having an about section to explain to it. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. So if we look at this script, probably should have opened Writer in advance, but I didn't. So this here is the quote script that we just looked at.
Can you zoom that a bunch? Yeah.
So this is it, and it's doing all of the quote stuff. Once writers finish processing it, I'll talk through what's happening.
You get some quotes and an event for when they're loaded, huh?
Pretty much. That's all the script needed. And so the point I want to get, I'll kind of go through the details here, but so this is it. It's 36 lines of code, and that's including an event at the bottom, which it could be in a different file. All I'm doing is have an array of quotes. I have a quote event. I have the results of the quotes, and then there's a load function. Load takes in some source to get quotes from. It then gets that source, generates quotes from it, and then returns the results. That's what.
Can you double that zoom for all the people with little tiny screens?
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
able to zoom? Yeah, just control. There we go.
Yeah. So, I guess the first thing to point out here is there's this concept of quote sources. Like, where do I get the quotes from? Well, this is quote sources. It's. I talked before about each thing has its own job. Well, this thing's job is to pick a source, get one of them from it, and then generate the quotes from the source. But its job isn't to manage quote sources. And so if I go to quote sources, that's this script, and again we come back to the whole idea of do you write the code in advance or whatever. This is a complicated solution, but it's not. I didn't start here, and I'll show you how I started and got to here later. But what this does is effectively when it instantiates on load, it will get all available sources to a list and marks it as loaded as true. And what does that mean? Well, it grabs the currently loaded assembly, selects all types which implement from a certain interface of quote provider, and then instantiates an instant puts in the array. So I'm not actually writing or dragging in or using a list or using any scriptable objects or anything. I'm just using this. And if any script in my entire project happens to inherit from this, there's apparently 41 now, I must have added more, this will automatically add, instantiate, populate the list, and it'll be in the list for that drop down next time I go to look at it. So I've added new ones later and it just appeared in that list. I don't have to do anything else. And here is all of the individual providers. So if we pick one of them,
Got a lot of quote providers.
Yeah, because I really wanted to highlight, because I kept getting those questions of like, I need to know the answer to all of these questions, like where is it saving and what's the API and how does it look like? I'm like, no, you just need to know the contract. The contract is my application needs quotes, something gets me quotes, and beyond that point, I really don't care. I don't care if they come from a file, I don't care if it's a JSON file, I don't care if it's an array, I don't care if it's a database, I don't care if it's generated by some API or some AI, it doesn't matter. The point is, my application cares about this and nothing else. And so I made 40 different random
all the
stuff. So if I go to one of my favorites was the Simpsons one. So Simpsons quote provider. This is the quote provider for the Simpsons. What does it do? Well, it has a get quotes function, and it calls simpsons.get, and it has a default amount of quotes it returns.
All right, we just need a fourth.
Crazy Jim PA.
This is a
We can't lose, dude. Check it out. I was on like a video. There's a guy doing this like video in front of like 140 people, like that's like talking about game dev. And I told him about Starfighter General. He helped me out before. He's like, oh, Starfighter General. And he looked at it during the play, man. He just gave me like some props, man. It's awesome. I gave him props. He gave me props, man. It's awesome. His name's Jason Weeman. JASONWIMAM letters. Yeah.
Jason shot, man. We taking shots, boys.
Alright, what are you taking shots? I'm inviting people.
Leading by using this in my application and creating this factory,
We can't lose.
which effectively is a model where
Parker Lewis can't lose, man.
The other model, I can say get quotes as Simpsons provides it, select them as my quote, and return it as my quote type. And so now this
double Mandu
obfuscates the complexity of what's really happening and returns it in something the rest of my application cares about.
They should make a champion that just double, like lets you pick a second of the same champion.
But if I show you a different,
but it has to be wherever you pick him, you have to already have chosen the guy beforehand. So if he's like draft number 2, you have to like you have to pick draft the first guy, right? That way,
take a hit to that, Jim.
Yeah, just a clone.
I'll take a swing to that, Jim.
Draven Bill.
I'll get some beer to that, Jim.
No. No.
Beer's good, bro.
If you don't have kidney problems, it's good. Hey, Santos, the only exception you can drink beer is if you eat like spoiled food and you know you're just gonna have like food poisoning, and you drink like a beer because it kills the stuff. It's like sanitizes your stomach. That's the only time you can do it. Everybody go Phil. They can go Phil. Yo. Oh, should have said yo to him. I didn't say yo fast enough. My APM is bad.
Smoking the day.
Family quote provider.
You get anybody in here,
So
Jim?
this is the
I'm
actual,
trying. It helps when more people do
quote
it.
system, but then there's the
Yeah,
quote provider.
I did. I invited like a whole
Quote
mass.
provider.
Okay, keep inviting people. I invited like 15 already. 15 rows. You know you grab a whole row at a time, right? Grab a whole row at a time. Boom.
Quote, whatever. And so all this does is it maps. Apparently this one uses text. This uses quote and character. I use text and author. So this hides that level. So when I say it doesn't matter, I really mean it doesn't matter. If this was shaped like a database or shaped like a text file or shaped like whatever,
Guys,
my code shouldn't
talk
be
about
written.
pornography
It
online.
requires a certain
Terrible.
shape
That's stuff that you shouldn't be
to
doing.
work. Because then I have to refactor my code.
When you have
to
faith
shape
in God, He can
My
give you like
code
better than
has
you
this
can like
shape,
hope for.
and
Better than
everything
you
that
ever
I
saw in
use,
any
I-
magazine. He can give you your way.
you know, make it the shape that I need before I consume.
You're just hurting yourself, man.
So yeah, so that's basically the idea of how this all works, and then each one of these is just a straightforward wrapper, and so each of these are small too. This is the Avengers one. There's some API I get online. There's some get function. This is the web class I talked about earlier. I can basically just say results equals web.get that model from this URL, and then I have my own. I have my own object called a web result, which I then use to wrap that so that I can check if it's succeeded or not. And if it doesn't, I have an array of errors, so I can do stuff like get the data, get the exceptions, and I can handle in the case it failed for whatever reason. But again, they all look the same, right? That's kind of the point here, is that if I was to open up the code here again,
what a
if I was to
fucking
show you the folder. So these are all the different providers, and then these are the sources of those providers. So geek quote apparently looks like that, and again, same thing, URL, web, get, return, whatever. So you can imagine when I say I did 40 of these, like I found an API, I copied and pasted this, I changed the name, changed the URL, and off I go. I could like generate this too. I could use a T4 template and have this auto generated. But it hits a point of.
Oh, your audio got weird. Is it just me?
Oh.
That was weird.
Okay.
Maybe it's me.
Yeah.
It sounds all staticky.
Oh well, yeah. Let me know if it's still not working. But yeah, it's basically the point of diminishing returns and automating this stuff. Like I've already automated it so that the actual UI auto populates. And
Yeah, your audio got broken for everybody apparently.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me. Nope.
Maybe
if I
change
don't-
one.
Does that work? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, all better now.
Weird. Okay. Must be something to share.
Turn into $1.
Yeah. You get the idea. The general point is that when people ask about the editor tooling, I didn't start with a complex editor tool. I started by writing, oh, I want to get quotes. I made a thing called get quote. I then printed a quote to a console, and then I was like, okay, that works.
Keep
Well, now I
inviting
wanna get
people.
quote somewhere else.
I have like tons of shit to do. Like I don't know why I just like don't ever invite
was
people.
just an array of quotes. That I
am a
and the second quote provider is a scriptable object that contains quotes. Then
I
the
know
third
like
quote
more and
provider
instead of not doing it.
some API I found
Nothing.
online. Then I was like, okay, I now have 3 quote providers. I don't want to keep doing this every time, so I made a thing which said find all quote providers and show those. So I did that.
I'm
And
just
that
asking
worked
for
a
some
while,
people
and I
like
was
maybe
okay,
like
cool.
pull.
Now
There
I
you
want
go.
to not have to drag these into an array in an inspector every time I want to do it. So then I made a thing at a custom editor tool, and the editor tool would then show the list of quote providers.
Fine,
And now
Matt.
I end
Who's
up
in
at
charge
a
of this?
place where when I want a new one, I can drop one in. It'll automatically self-register. It'll automatically.
Not
go up
anymore.
there,
We got a file,
but I don't
man. I
start
can't be
there.
crazy
That's
when
the
we got a
number
file,
one
man,
thing
dude.
I keep trying to get across is that you don't need to know every answer. You don't need to start with a complex thing. You don't need to have a big, giant graph of all of the stuff. You just need to solve each step of the problem, bit by bit, only what you need, and then over time, it'll get more complicated for the solution of the problem. And so just,
I can't be
you know,
crazy,
write the code
man.
you
We got a
need.
file,
That's kind
man.
of that's the general same principle.
Yeah, I agree. And now I want to follow it up with this question though that popped up. So I said, I understand the value of doing things on the fly, but don't you guys think there's some value in creating at least a brief design document? I think that just to clear up any confusion, I don't think anybody's saying that you shouldn't have a design doc or a design plan if you're building out a game. Like you're actually building your game, you should definitely have the design done. I think we're thinking and talking more about the specific implementations of the way that we're going to deal with the code. Than with the actual game and what the game is designed and how that's
Evans
going to
witnessed.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I think
Witness
it's
the
far
power
easier
of
than people
Roseland.
think it is. Like, if you're planning to climb a mountain, you don't say, oh, you don't need to plan. You don't need to plan for everything. Yeah, of course you need to plan. You need to have your supplies. You need to have your backpack. You need to know what you're doing. Whatever. But if you write down a list of what I'm going to take 4 footsteps forward, I'm going to take 2 steps to the left, I'm going to take that stupid. It's going to change. You don't know what's going to be there. You don't know what's going to be in your way. The problem is, if you're designing classes and drawing lines between the classes, that's like planning your footsteps for your journey. If you are planning, I need a thing that does stuff with saving and a thing that does stuff on the screen, and then that thing is going to need to know about the input for the mouse, that's like planning, we're going to take this trail and we're going to bring this back to supply. So, know what technology stack you're using, know what plan you're going to approach, break it down into units of work, choose what you're going to work on it in bites, don't try to plan for things that you're not using, and then course correct. So don't make decisions that you can't course correct out of later. That's basically it.
Yeah, very important part. Definitely got to do lots of course correction when you're making projects in general, if you want it to be successful at least. All right, this question came earlier. It was about voiceovers. We were talking about the replica.
Crayon.
Makes sense.
Oh, dude, RoboCop on Crayon?
I want to do free
that's my favorite.
voiceover work for games to get feedback on if my voice is good enough or not. Do you think people would be interested in my offer?
Oh, the
I think
horse
it would
from
probably
Gumby.
be hard
What was
to
that
get people
green
to
guy
do
that-
that, and it would be hard to
Pokey.
get a lot of value out of that for you. I
green
think
guy
that
Gumby?
you'd be better
Pokey,
off
Pokey, green guy with Pokey.
recording a bunch of samples
was
and
the
just
other-
putting up
who's
Fiverr
Gumby?
gig and see if you
The
can
green
get
guy?
them to hire you right off the bat. If you make it cheap at first, let people hire you for $5 to start, get some reviews, see what kind of feedback you get, but put up, maybe 5-10 different samples of different voice styles and the things that you can provide, and then you'll know instantly if people like it or not, because they'll start spending $5 to order it. If you start the price really low, you'll know whether or not people think it's good enough. There aren't a whole lot of people on Fiverr with voiceovers. There might be a couple dozen, and most of the experienced ones are a
people
bit more
don't
expensive.
remember
So
the
I would
arcade
try
days.
that.
They're going
I don't know if you have any.
Yeah, only Evan
there are a
and
couple of places
Santos
for this.
and Mike can do.
Back in my day, there was something called the Voice Acting Alliance. It doesn't exist anymore. It was a website full of people who were just amateurs trying to get into.
Hey
voice
Santos,
acting
what was your favorite arcade game?
for either free or cheap on projects to build a portfolio.
What?
These days, there's something called
Okay,
casting called
Mike
Club.
Moore, what was your favorite arcade game?
Basically, there are websites where people you can register an account, you can put your stuff up there, and you can basically sample your voice, and then
That's my
people can reach
favorite.
out to you and offer you
Oh.
voice. So there are websites
the
like
Bollywood
that.
game.
There's a Facebook group for this stuff too. I'm not in voice acting myself. I've done like 3 bits of voice acting in my entire
Dude,
life.
Rampage is actually you can get to like level 7 without dying on
I
Rampage.
did
Decent one,
enjoy it.
right?
Dude, that was like
There
one
was
of
one
the
recent
games I ever
one,
played in a long time.
but
It's still fun,
so
dude.
my point is, there.
Then when you have
It's a
like
reckless swing. That's the ultimate ability.
when you have 3
Crack
people
them over
in
the
that
head.
game, you're just fucking shit
The
up.
truth is,
I haven't
The
played
reckless
that game
swing.
since.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is crazy.
SNK had a really cheesy one called King of the Monsters.
Somebody somewhere wants that and doesn't know how to get it. So,
Yeah, you just build up that reckless swing and slug them over.
Okay,
the
we
head.
anybody gonna come and help invade, or we're gonna like not invade?
the truth is, professionals often not
It's 50
hire
seconds. Go to top,
people.
Evan.
That's just a fact. They're just
There we
not-
go.
I'm top.
So
Okay, the mid to top.
they're going to hire people who have a professional portfolio.
None
who
of
like
the
already.
hand it is.
So what you need to do.
We're gonna go ahead. Let's go
Like
in
the
this.
Remington
Sibber, throw a thing here, right? Chuck it. Go about right here and throw a thing here.
They're there. They're not here.
Is that, who cares? I'm going in.
What, we got a fiddlestick jungle. Crazy Jim.
No, they just saw us. Go out. They saw us. They saw us. They saw us. They saw us.
Go to any
Jim, are you
Discord
in the
and try to
jungle?
showcase talent.
I am, but I'm not the
Hey,
jungler.
like your game. This character
I don't
is
belong
cool.
here.
I have a cool idea for a voice for
There's
it.
fiddlesticks,
Record a clip
though.
and just-
Who is Fiddlesticks?
Here's how I think your character
You should know. You should destroy him. You know everything he does.
Yeah,
Like,
Jim.
you might even
I
get
shouldn't
like
destroy him. He's on our
2
team.
times,
Oh, Schneik,
you'll
dude.
still
Oh,
be able to-
Oh, yeah, he's a jungle.
I'm terrible. I
Good,
should
yeah,
be
didn't know
leashing.
all those things existed.
Are you gonna win?
I guess that's why I'm not the one answering all. All right. Well, I think about ready to wrap it up for the week. I wanted to quickly mention the bundle again, the Humble Bundle that's available. It's down below. Click and grab it. It's got all of Andrew's.
Son of a bitch.
A lot of Andrew's
Fuck
stuff.
that one up.
See, I tried to stand in front of that raptor, and
Definitely
that
worth
menu
$30.
didn't.
There's also that sale that's going on right now that I think I've linked down below on the asset store. A bunch of stuff's on sale. A couple things that.
Oh, nice. Good you hit that guy. Like,
Oh, the question about.
see the hurting, like
Mastermind
making people
group.
stop hitting you, hit them more. I think.
Still looking to add new people to Mastermind group. Anybody still waiting for
The
places?
Earl
There are
Rose
a lot of people still waiting for
Oh,
places.
yeah.
Looks like they're waiting.
Duke,
looking for
Duke,
somebody who can
Duke,
join the
Duke
Mastermind group
of
that
Earl
meets,
of
right
Roseland.
after this show, apparently. So if anybody
You never heard Duke of Earl? That's an old
join
song from the
that group,
50s. Duke.
send me
Oh,
an
Earl of
email
Roseland.
or
Duke of Earl.
maybe they can,
Duke
hop
of
in
what?
and join.
You never heard the song Duke,
And if you're
Duke,
interested
Duke?
in
I'm not gonna
joining
do it
your own
anymore. It's
group
too much
later, make
Dukes.
sure that you
Roseland.
Earl.
We'll do Mastermind
Duke of Earl.
matchmaking. and,
Duke of
we're gonna
Earl.
meet up all
It's a song of the 50s.
It'll be fun.
It's like a, it's
Yeah, I
like
know
a
that
classic.
song.
Make sure you like, subscribe.
Duke of Earl of
Go
Roseland.
check out
You
Jason's
just said
stories
one more of, man.
coffee page.
Hey, there's no Roseland in any
A
song.
lot of great chat
You
in
can
there.
throw Roseland in any
Watch
song.
it.
Like
Duke of
every Roseland has its
Have you
storm.
heard the song Earl of Roseland?
I also made it easier to find.
Yeah, there
I
is.
knew that the Ko-fi link
Why do you
was
say that?
Ko-fi.com.
'Cause I know
It's now jason.com.
The Earl of Roseland, for sure.
It's a band called Styx.
Oh.
Nobody knows that song.
No one knows the band name Styx.
Some of that
Trust me,
code
nobody
stuff
knows that song,
they
Santos.
call them
I've never been to a
very-
Steelers game in my life.
It's
It's
a,
a song from the 70s.
links to
It's very obscure.
That's before my time.
videos I've been on Jason's channel
Song.
before.
I was
And then
Anybody says that's a
I've been
Styx
on the
song,
So
that
if you want to see more
is
content,
one in a
follow
billion.
up on that website.
It's a very-
1 in a Billion? It's a good song.
Yep. Go
You
sign
know,
up.
Wait, no, oh shit, that's the one you got me banned off. That's not a good
Always
song.
have to say, oh, that's a Styx song. No one will know in any game you ever play.
So thanks. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the stream.
I like Renegade, man. Renegade's a badass song.
Hi. Or,
Hey, Jim, I know the
Alright,
song
cool.
that
Alright, see
you love
y'all,
so much.
Sailing Away?
yeah. See you soon.
Nah.
Bye, everybody.
I think it's by Guns N' Roses.
Dude, shut up, dude. I'm gonna have to mute you guys if you keep this up. That actually disturbs me. What's this guy doing? You really gonna get that? Yeah, dude. There's a Yi in our no. There was a Yi in our lane. Whew.
Technology
I have a lot of
coding are an
banner.
extremely valuable industry, and I know that if you have a foundation in coding, there's a place for you at almost any company. My name is Grant Gutschow. I'm an active duty military officer.
Damn, Jim taking rips.
No, I was eating ice cream.
yeah, Jim.
Oh shit.
Don't die now, Jim. Alright.
It was raspberry, man.
Raspberry
Raspberry
flavor.
Kush, that's my favorite. I love the raspberry Kush.
Brenington's got nothing on mental health, too.
Mid's MIA. But Fiddle's down at the bottom. What's your name?
I think he lives on purpose, guy. He's lucky there to die.
I don't know. We just picked him up for a random thing. Did you pick him up for a random thing, or did you get him off your friends list?
I didn't get him. I didn't invite him. I don't know who.
Did you invite anybody off your friends list at all?
I did, but he wasn't.
You should not invite people off your friends list. Your friends list is infected.
I did not invite him.
Okay.
I don't know who
Okay.
that is.
Okay. I think we'll be alright. I think he's okay.
Take a hit to that.
Take a swig to that.
Got the 6-pack in the fridge.
Woo! 6-pack!
That's my rapper name, Little Six Pack.
We're having a good night. It's gonna be a good night tonight, Mike Moore.
Woo! Good night, bro!
Got some good news for you too.
Some rips, bro.
Oh, that's lovely.
I want to get a ward up here. I want to get a ward on this stuff right here. Alright, coming down. I think bots. You can do this if you want to. Fiddlesticks are freaking on the stick. Hey, Sivert, take that plate, and we're gonna help us with you, immediately as soon as you get the plate, come up to us. Oh, we're next is coming down here. Mundo, we need you too. We need to come here.
He's coming to me.
Yeah, well, we can sandwich you towards you. Go around the back. Go right, dink, dink. Okay. Okay, Sivert, come here. We're not gonna be able to do this unless one of you come. You're supposed to both be here by now. Okay, Sivert, like Mike Moore, dude. Okay, we'll be alright, guys. I just popped my hill. Oh, dude, this guy has a good drain going on. We're good. We're good. Okay, we're cool. Master Yi's up by the Krugs. So I wouldn't even go top jungle if I were you, Fizz. Just clear that bottom jungle, and then like after you do that, like after you clear top jungle, maybe go leech some experience off a lane if you need to get level 6. You know.
Yeah, but he means go steal his XP because that's what he does.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's the proper way of playing.
Exactly, he's fine with it. So steal his. We're not fine with it.
Woo!
Remember, Master Yi's in right here. About.
I took a hit to that.
Take a rip to that too, bro.
I'm getting back in shape so hardcore, it's awesome. I'm not dead anymore. God sucks.
I'll get chopped too, bro.
That's why I'm more than if other person die, not you.
Crack open some cans later on. I'm off tomorrow. I might have to test.
Oh, dude, that was a crazy. Dude, that wasn't. I'm dead. Okay, that was kind of suicidal. All right, hey.
You're suicidal, Jim.
What happened? Yeah, Jim. What happened?
Mike Moore just like flashed into like people and died. I think he thought he could get the kill, but like it was really weird.
Yeah, Jim.
All right, now to know, guys.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Time for that 420 score, Jim.
Oh, hey. All right. Well, let's just keep going. I mean, like, at least if you're really hitting the weed, man, that's not good, man. That would explain why you tried that move. It's not like my uncle who does drugs and just had a stroke recently.
And has a shotgun.
Yeah, he's freaking like mental. That's not a good sound. When I hear that sound, I hear the sound of a moron. Killing themselves.
Oh, the blaze!
Let's try R. Dang it! Holy crap!
Oh, missed.
Yes!
Oh yeah, Jim missed, and he was report Jim, right?
Report Jim!
I didn't just miss. I was late. I was like, okay, I'm just chilling out. Yeah, it's my fault.
Had Ravenous Hydra, Jim.
I'm trying to get away with this guy. I need Swifty boots. There's no escaping this.
I'm dead, Jim! Woo!
You got this, Jim. Come on, Jim. Ah, Jim.
No, there's too many heals, man. Yeah, like we got behind the lane, man. Let's go.
Take a swig to that, Jim.
Yo, Jim, is she doing the Gore Drinker build?
I'm not building anything right now. This is a 4-15. Let's go next build.
Oh, true. Let's go next build.
I don't think it's worth for you. You know how we do, man. My opinion. My opinion.
Yeah, we probably can. It's just a really bad opener, man. This is like abysmal. Alright, we got a kill. That's cool. Shut down. That's like 2. That's like you got 3 kills there. So we're 12 to 5. Oh, we got the dragon too. Okay, so let's just add up what we got.
I'm getting doubled, bro. I'm getting doubled, bro.
Run. Use alt and run away.
That's not how that works.
You got 1 dragon, so that's good.
That's a, yeah. That's a 2 kill dragon. The best dragon there is. Oh yeah, I was doing math, right? So and we got 2 kills on top of that. So it's like we have 4 for the 2 kill bounty. And all right, well, fuck, I mean, curse math. I mean, not curse math, but like, forget it, man. I can't think it all, dude.
Fuck math.
No, please don't use that word.
I used it in math class.
Math class? We come mid. We got a tower down too. Oh, there's a guy right here. I don't even know who it is. There's 2 guys there. So I'm meeting in what's his face? Ash.
Take a rip to that, Jim.
Coming back.
Oh, you're okay. Cool. Alright, I'm just gonna play, I guess. I'm turning people's volume down. I need to think for myself. Okay.
They can't even hurt me. Look at it.
You hurt me. It's good that we good that if we just stalemate him. I'm getting like basically I'm getting like
Don't have all. I don't want to go in.
Camp, that's what I'm getting.
See, man.
Fiddlesticks isn't doing anything.
Dude, like Fiddlesticks is fine, dude. Fiddlesticks is playing fine, dude. Leave him alone, man.
I'm doing pretty good, actually.
We're actually in this really hard because we have a tower down too. Like if I would have done the math, I could have said just exactly how hard we are, but like I guess.
Excellent.
We're all right. We're all right. I think we have 4 kills. We got 6.
Open a beer, bro.
So, watch out, Master D. Pull back so you can fight him out of the tower range.
We're gonna celebrate tonight, bro.
That's good stuff, man.
Oh, I'm taking tower. That sucks.
All right.
Shoot him! He's under the tower. Shoot him now.
Yeah, I was predicting that you would walk away from the Master Yi instead of like this face check him. That's why I threw it. Right. We don't critique in game plays, but I thought you were gonna like when you're fighting here and here, and our guys up here and here, you should like be pulling back like.
I start smacking him around, and then you guys would double down on him.
Okay, look, I'm just gonna explain this. You can like listen or not, right? So if you're fighting a melee, you're gonna lose, right? But you can. Okay, Mike, I'm just gonna mute Mike right now and pretend like I don't hear that. Okay, so I'm trying to talk strategy, dudes. Like this is pissing me off. Please don't talk over me, dude. Okay, so like Evan is here and fighting the guy, right? So like, and we're here up here. We want to help fight the battle, but we're not in the battle quite yet. So what you have to do, okay, is like attack while retreating, like until you get to your guys. You know. So.
Oh yeah.
Watch out! There's another guy. There's a new guy here.
You know, kind of like smacks him around.
That is crap, probably. This guy does a lot, right?
Who killed you? I'm almost in their base.
I'm getting double.
I'm invading their base almost. If I can get
Oh,
this
dude, that
tower
hit me.
here-
How the heck that hit me?
Barely.
I'm gonna hit this tower, man. This is gold. I got it.
That's good. That's not a bad place to do. We both have heal, man.
I'm getting out of here.
Alright, there's 2 guys right here. Yeah. It's good.
Where? They can't get me.
Oh, watch out. I got this guy right here. I need help. Oh, okay, thanks, dude.
You're too far away from me.
Yeah. Watch out, there's 3 guys right here. Maybe they're zoning the dragon. They're trying to get back, I think. Watch out, there's no one else here by you, by Sivir.
I'm gonna teleport. No, I'm right there. I'm gonna teleport them right now. We can't kill it. Guys, want to slaughterhouse them? I don't have all though. It would be risky.
Try and gain the river. We have a dragon coming up right here. There's an acolyte right here. Get this, you probably might be able to pop her. Coming in here. There's an acolyte right here. Guys, do you not see him? Okay. You're supposed to run at him when it happens like this. Try and cut him off from here. I'm just dead.
Oh, I hit that bitch. Dragon's up.
Alright, go back to dragon. Yeah, go back to dragon. Alright, I'm gonna mute Mike more. I was just no offense, Mike. So I tried to talk strategy. I get it's very easy to distract me. Oh, watch out! Master Yi kills us all. He has 5 kills. Nice work, nice work. The show.
Hit him.
Ah, 2 fighters are better than 1 fighter. Watch out! Acolyte will wreck everybody's face here. Get to me, I'll heal you. And I'm gonna, me and Olaf might try and there's a water plant here. We need to go to the dragon. We need to fight this acolyte, this dragon. I can't fight her alone. She can 2-tap me. All right, so you can see her now. You see it now. Yeah, we have to keep sending dragon. I'm going up in their base and ending up here is the wrong choice. Acolyte's here. We need more people here. This is the position.
That Y I have. Look at that build on that Y I. The hell is that? What you don't hit it yet? We get through hitting it. Are you sure it's a good idea?
If Master Yi shows up, we just book it. You know. I'm gonna hit my. You have my E ready? E, let's go. Run. Oh shit! She went that way. Okay, we're dead. I don't know. Mike and Santa went to the rift for some reason. Say, screw Jim. It's funny to make fun of him. This is my last game. I'm gonna go code. Like I'm not respected here. I'll try again some other time. I'm gonna turn the stream off. My friends, it's like I mean, I know it's funny to like disrespect people. Oh, you're old. We're gonna disrespect you because it's funny to do it. But they're freaking doing it all the time. That's not what friends do. So I'm not gonna have it today. I want to play video games. And my friends want to like my friends know. Like they know there's people that lose on purpose with me, right? So what they do? Oh, let's lose on purpose with Jim too. We think it's freaking funny. Like it's funny just to do the opposite of what Jim says because hey, it's an old person and we're making fun of him. It's like. Dudes, you're my friends, okay? And I know you're not the same as the loser on purpose people. You're doing this because you think it's funny right now. You're stoned out your mind. But I'm asking you not to be stoned. And I'm also asking you, like, you know, maybe try and win. It's not that's not a hard, man. Like, what happens if you're entertaining and people, like, don't take you serious at all? Like, I'm always entertaining, and then people don't take you serious. Oh, you're funny, so we'll just screw around with you. You know, we'll stab you in the back. That's kind of funny.